New Thought Media Network proudly presents Lindsay Leimbach, Practicing Infinite Possibilities, Fridays at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. And now, here's Lindsay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to PIP, Practicing Infinite Possibilities. You're here with me, Lindsay Leimbach, and Buster. Is he the sweetest? I have not been live for probably about 5-6 weeks, so I'm very excited to be back. And here we are. So what are we going to do? What is different in 2024? And the one thing I decided that I'd like to do with practicing infinite possibilities is maybe make it a little shorter. Oh, let me see. Why did I do not know why my scrolling thing. Let me see if this one comes up. Show. Put this one here. Well, while it's up here, the only thing you can control is your mind. Is that true? Marcus Aurelius. I love that one. Here it is. Practicing infinite possibilities. So, meaning that I had 30 minutes before and I'd always run late. And so I thought, well, not right, run over. I'm going to see if we can do it in 20 minutes because I think if we need to get really down to it, get that practicing infinite possibility nugget, and then go on with the day. And let's see if that works. So that's one thing I'm going to go back to practice. I'm going to practice in 2024 with PIP. So today the theme is now what? Now what? Mid-January, now what? Now what? Now what can happen in mid-July too? Now what? What do you do? A lot of times we think back and we say, well, we need to make goals, set intentions. Yep, that's all good. And every day we can do that, of course. But when I'm working with my clients and coaching, I say, well, now what? Let's look back in the past. What? You're talking about not being in the present moment? Yes, for right now, I'm talking about not being in the present moment. Let's look back in 2023. What in 2023 did you do really well? See, a lot of times we're always, when we make resolutions or goals, we're looking forward to what we want to create, but we don't realize that we have done some really fabulous things in the past. A lot of times when we look over our shoulder and we have that rear view mirror looking, so in other words, like if you're in a car and there's a rear view mirror and you're always looking up into your past to see what's happening instead of looking into your present, well, we're looking at the bad stuff. We're not looking at the things that disappointed us, the things that we thought we wish we could have done differently. And, I should have done this and I should have done that. And I can't believe this happened. And I can't believe that happened. And I can't believe my neighbors or my kids or my family were like that. I can't believe I got sick or whatever it is. You're labeling all this negativity from the past. But we're survivors. I'm a survivor. I'm a resilient, loving, kind, wonderful survivor. And yeah, I have been dealt some bad cards, but you know what? I've played my cards well. Sometimes not as well as I wish, yes, but sometimes spectacular. And I want to lean into how have you played it spectacular? How in 2023 were you dealt a lemon and made lemonade? How did the storm come? You like all these metaphors. How did the storm come into your life that you had no control of? You have no control of all the things going around, impermanence, people getting sick, people dying. You have no control of the economy. All the things you don't have control of that might have kicked you in the stomach a little bit, and you still found the rainbow. How did you learn and grow? That's huge, because we have to have the belief system that we can do it anyway. And we don't, that we can do it anyway is inside of us, but sometimes we forget. We think we're stumbling through, that we're always needing to like fall and just grab ourselves through. But you made it in 2023. There's some things that kicked you down and you got back up. You definitely got back up. So I want to have a shout out to Kevin and Trudy. Thank you so much for saying hi and welcoming me back. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. So anyone, if you want to, put your comments in and say you're here, and that would be great. And I can read them. I have them up right now. So let's go back. So let's think about it. What happened in 2023? And sometimes what I tell with my clients, go back to your calendar. Because a lot of times you can think of, what happened in December. If we're in January, you can remember what happened in December. But how did you get through last winter, 2023, January, February, March? How about the spring? How about in the summer? Go back and look at it. And I'm not saying relive the pain. I'm saying really rejoice in the resilience that you showed yourself. How you were able to be dealt something, and maybe it was some mistake you made, and then you pivoted. Maybe you didn't pivot on the day that the mistake was made, but maybe you had to pivot or forgive or grow. A couple weeks later, it happened. But go and look back. I have shown you all, and I'm going to show you again, these wonderful slides that I have. Well, here's one of them. It's of the brain. So we have the lower brain, the middle brain, and the higher brain. The lower brain is your survival center. It's always on. It regulates your body, your heartbeat, your digestion, dilating your pupils, all that kinds of stuff. It's always on. It also houses the fight, flight, freeze response that you're born with. And then you have the middle brain, and the middle brain is like your storage unit. It's your file cabinet where you have all these memories and all your programming of everything you've ever done is in there. And so your habits are in this middle part of your brain. And then the prefrontal cortex, the red part in this picture, that's your higher brain. And that's where you have your executive thinking, where you actually can do the reprogramming. You have to think about it. You are all here with me, and being here with me means that you're listening and you're processing, and hopefully you're thinking about what happened in 2023. Your prefrontal cortex is on high alert. It's really thinking. If you were in a scan, the blood would be flowing here. And what you're doing is you're thinking, what are the programs that I put in 2023? What are some of the good habits that I learned in 2023 that I can bring forth now? One of the things I'm really proud of is when I used to have a lot of corporate accounts. So I worked with, government programs. So police, veterans, JPL, all different things. And then some private insurance companies, law firms, real estate agents. And I would teach mindfulness and how to reduce stress and worry and the things that I bring to PIP. And it was very successful. And then when COVID hit, of course, all that went away. And I did a little bit of coaching. Now I do. Then I went into big time coaching because I could do it here, just like this. And that worked out really successful. And in 2023, I let go of feeling like I had to do it corporate. And that was a big tether I had, thinking, well, you got to do a corporate. That sounds good to other people. It sounds good to me, and all that kind of stuff. And also the paychecks are big when do corporate accounts, and there's a lot of work on the front end to say until you get the account, but you have like more guaranteed money because you sign contracts and things. So going into coaching full time, it's less money. It's not necessarily as regular, but man, I love it. I just love not being in the corporate world anymore. I really do. I love having that my studio is in my house, and it's just resonates so good with me. And I had to trust and let go. And I did. I let go of all my corporate accounts. It was a little scary saying to someone, I'm not going to renew this. I'm going to let go and move forward. But I did it. And let's see, I let go of them in like summer 2023 is when I let go of my last corporate account. And then what happened? My coaching just blew up. It just is awesome. It's just wonderful. I have people over the world, all over the United States. And so that is awesome. And I now pat myself on the back. That's my example that I trusted. The big word is I went into 2023 trusting that I can do it and I don't have to feel like I'm clawing through the world. I can do it with grace and ease and trust and inner knowing. And to me, that's a huge example. And I'm so satisfied and so proud of myself. So I know in my example that I just told you that I kept practicing trust. Here we go. This is the one I like to always show you for neuroplasticity. Think of our brain as just a field of snow. And we need to connect our neurons to get to the place we want to go, to be better at it and have trust. And it takes practice. So like going through a field of snow, the first time you go through, it's very hard and tough. Just like if you're practicing the piano and it's the first time you've ever done it, you wouldn't be very good. But then you could go through, do you see those footsteps, and keep going through those footsteps. And as you keep going over the same footsteps, it's much easier. The path gets built into the snow. And it's the same with your brain. The path gets built into your brain because the neurons fire together, wire together, and they know how to do it. So you have to practice. Now, if I practice negativity, sorry, you still get the same concept of practicing. You become more negative. Your brain knows how to go negative fast. Okay. And if you practice positivity, if you practice seeing the rainbow in the storm, if you practice seeing the lemonade from the lemons, if you practice that inner trust of knowing that you can connect your prefrontal cortex to your heart, then that becomes easier, easier, and easier. And it is fabulous when you feel it, but it takes time and it takes practice. So in 2023, I practiced of letting go of something I knew that was more secure, which is these corporate accounts, to something that is not so secure. It's more in flux because as I coach people, of course, then they don't need coaching anymore. They learn and they practice and they leave, and then I bring in new people. And I just trust the universe that the next person will come that needs to hear what I have to say and can work with me. And it's worked out. It's that inner trust. So when you're thinking about what now, I really also want you to think, what now have I done well? And pat yourself on the back and really think about how you did a good job so you have that neuroplasticity coming together so you can repeat those positive behaviors. So often people repeat negative behaviors and they say, when they talk about habits, they think of it as being negative. That is not true. Habits are something that are very much a fundamental of every single thing you do. How you wake up, how you eat, how you greet people. These are all programs that you have in that yellow, that middle part of the brain. They're all programs you have in there, and you have fabulous ones. So let's celebrate, let's bring out those, and let's bring out the best of ourselves in 2024. But I could say, bring out the best of yourself today, or in January, or in February. You don't need a start date, an artificial start date, that it's a new year. It just is something that's part of the collective consciousness of the world, that we have this renewing January 1st. But that's an artificial renewing. You're renewing it every morning. Every morning I get to practice to be a little better. And that is awesome. So when you are thinking about what you want to do in 2024, make sure you're bringing the best of who you are, the habits you have in 2023 and other things that you've done in your life, and you're bringing them into the present moment now. All right, I'm going to give you another little homework to do. I want you to go back into 2023 and see if there's a visual object. It could be a picture, could be maybe you're an artist and you've made, like Trudy and a lot of people that work in this are artists, and they've made sculptures or paintings, or maybe it's a physical picture, or it could be anything. There's something you found at a thrift store, whatever it is, that reminds you of how fabulous you are and how many infinite possibilities you have in 2024. Okay, or in the present moment, infinite possibilities. So I want to show you what I have. This is good. Here I'm going to turn it just the only thing better like that. Okay, it's a picture. It's a picture of my dad, myself, I'm in the middle, and my mom. And if you can see right here, it says a rock that is 4,500,000,000 years old, and I'm leaning on it. And I actually have this. I took it off my wall. I have this hanging in my bathroom, so I look at it every day. And why I love this picture, of course, it's because my parents are in this picture with me. But we were in Greenwich, London, and that's a whole nother story. We all went to England to see my son for Thanksgiving. That's one reason why I wasn't doing PIP Live. And we went to the Prime Meridian, where the line is that separates east and west, and there's the Greenwich Observatory. And here they have this rock that's out there, and they're like, this is 4.5 billion years old. I mean, how do you even think about 4.5 billion years ago? I don't even know. I mean, it just blows my mind that how it makes you realize what a moment of time that we are serving. And when I was with my parents and that we could sit there and touch this rock and lean on it, it made me realize, be in the present moment. Wow, this picture makes me remember, be in the present moment with the people you love and the things that you love, and be happy in it, because time is so vast. And this is such a gift that I get to be here right at this moment. This rock is going to be around past me, my parents, my kids, my great grandchildren, and on. Even when maybe the world blows up, whatever that may be at some time, not trying to be the pessimist, this will be thrown back into space, right? So I get this little teeny moment of such a spectacular gift. What am I going to do with this gift? And I'm looking at this, and I'm in this moment, I'm with my family, seeing my mom and dad who live in Florida and I live in California. And I'm remembering the love of the trip. And in this picture reminds me, in this little teeny gift, what is important? The importance is happiness within my heart and celebrating my God's gift purpose on this earth and celebrating the people I love, because this is a teeny moment in their time, and then we're just going to pull Bubba up one more time. And this is Bubba. Bubba's 10, his life is even more impermanent. Yeah. Are you talking to everyone? Hi. Are you saying hi to everyone? So celebrate what we have, and reinforce all these wonderful things that you already know and all these wonderful things that you've already done. Let's go there. Let's go there together. Oh, Dad, you got to see your picture. And Wayne, hi. And Alisa, the first time with you. Thank you. I appreciate that you're here. Thank you so much for coming today. Well, let me tell you what we're going to do in the future. Now, I'm almost hitting my 20 minutes. I told you I'm shooting for 20 minutes instead of 30. All right, it might be 23. I don't know. So what we're going to do, I'm very excited about, is I am going to talk every week about different things like this, but I'm going to talk about the marriage and the beauty of the world's philosophy, especially when it comes to mindfulness, stoicism, and new thought, and how they all intertwine and are actually saying the same thing. And then I'm going to take it and bring it into the practical realm so you can take this and feel how it rings true to you to go forward in the week or into the month to help you. So there's some great books that we're going to dive into. Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holland. Okay, this is really spectacular book. Ryan Holland is an expert on Stoic philosophy, and one of the main characteristics of Stoicism is discipline. And I don't mean discipline in a negative way. I mean temperance, being able to have balance, being able to do the middle path, being able to do what you know is right with impulse control. Wow. Well, that's mindfulness. So that's a great book. Another book that I'm reading that is so interesting is The Emotional Survival for Law Enforcement. You're like, why are you reading that? My son is a police officer, and now he's been a police officer for about a year. And today is his very, very last day he has in his observation training. And then he will be driving around the police car by himself. I can't believe it. Today is the day. So it's interesting to hear what they say. How do the families survive? You know what? Stoicism, mindfulness, new thought, psychology, all the things that I've been teaching, when I went to NASA or all the other places, it's in here too. So I'm going to bring forth a lot of these golden nuggets. And hopefully and I know my intention is that I'm going to share these golden nuggets with you on PIP in 2024. And and my intention, there's no hope. And I know they're going to help you have more center, more balance, more love, and more tools to deal with the environment around us. I was on Facebook today, and it shows, what did you post? 3 years ago, I posted a post that said, when you can't control what's happening, control the way you respond to what's happening, for that is where your power lives. Amen. Is that the answer? We cannot control the politics. We cannot control the economy. We cannot control the weather, but we can control how we respond to it. And from the beginning of time, well, I won't say that, but Western philosophy, and you go back to Socrates about 2,500 years ago, that's what he said. And if you go back into Buddhism, about 2,500 years ago, that's what he said. And if you go into New Thought, that's what they say, because that's the truth. You have control of you. And you need to remember the brain. I said the 3 parts. So we have the caveman thinking, then we have the file cabinets, and then we have our higher consciousness. And the thing we can control is our caveman thinking with our higher consciousness. And that's the practice. White light and purple to all, as Wayne says. Happy 2024, my dad has said. Love to you all. All right, I did it in almost 25 minutes. So we're going to stop here, make it a little shorter. I think it's going to be more powerful, and I look forward to seeing you. Same channel, right? Next week. Thank you so much. Now I have to get practice in doing all this again. See you later. Here we go. I got this.